Here's a scandal for you. Hidden in the 634 pages budget bill, Mark Carney is trying to give his cabinet minister the power to let any company or person ignore almost any federal law for up to 6 years. No parliament, no vote, just a signature. This is elite immunity written right into the law. What the fuck? My name is Nico Lagan, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host, Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. Like I was just telling you, man, before we started recording, this started as a note that I took from a video I saw. I can't even remember which video it was, but they were just talking about this, saying, "Oh, have you guys seen the Toronto Star article?" Right there, I'm like, Toronto Star. Oh shit, sure. What woke bullshit are they going to be talking about? Yet they're the only newspaper / online publication that's calling out the government on this. Nobody else is talking about this. It's absolutely insane. But there is a omnibus bill that they call omnibus because it's a massive fucking document, 634 pages long. And in that bill C-15 that it's called, where they're trying to pass some of the, some of the policies that they voted on for the budget, the 2025 budget. So there's certain things that they're trying to pass into a bill to make it reality. But buried in that massive bill of 634 pages that nobody actually probably reads or even understands everything. It's insane how big that damn document is. But buried into that document, midway through, even closer to the end, is a small portion that creates an amendment to enact that would literally give power to ministers to exempt any companies or any entity or any individual from policies established in Canada. As long as it's not a criminal offense, they would not need to abide by the rules, and they would be exempt up to 6 years. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The budget, like I was telling you before the show, man, this was just one of the things I wanted to address. I'm like, hey, is that even worth speaking about? Sent me into a 3-hour research rabbit hole of reading the actual bill and contacting some lawyer friends of the show that we know, like, do you know about this? 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 Nobody's aware of this. They don't know what the fuck this is. They haven't had time to read it. But I can tell you that over the next few days, I reached out to Bruce Party. I reached out to Nathan Wellwood. So I will try to get somebody with more understanding of what I'm reading than me to explain this.
Carney grants legal immunity to the elites. What do you mean by elites? What's the how you
anybody they choose? Anybody they choose.
Oh,
literally, I'm telling you, this is going to take a good at least 30 minutes to get through all the information that I have, because it's absolutely insane, and I want to show the listeners that I'm not making this shit up, that you can actually, I want to show people where to get the information, where to go read it for themselves. But it's so like I said, it's part of Bill C-15 called an act to implement. It's an act to implement certain provision of the budget tabled in Parliament on November 4th. So the budget that they actually voted for, that was accepted, that will become the next budget, that $85 billion deficit budget. So Bill C-15 is called the Budget Implementation Act. And it seems that bill is updated every year. There's a budget. So right now is the 2025 version of it. And okay. I want to first start by the actual, I'm going to first show you the article, because I think we need to give credit where I found this information. And you'll see, we'll go through the articles. The article is actually pretty long, and they go into detail. I got to give credit where credit is due. This is a very well done article by the wokest of the woke, the Toronto Star. Like, I gotta give them credit because they are the only one talking about this. So here's the title: Opinion: Mark Carney's quietly giving sweeping new powers to his ministers. And if you read the first paragraph right here, hidden in the federal government's hidden in the federal government's 634 pages omnibus bill C-15, the Budget Implementation Act, is a measure that has so far escaped scrutiny. Under the pretext of regulatory efficiency, Prime Minister Mark Carney plans to grant cabinet ministers the power to exempt any individual or company from any federal law on the books, except for the criminal code, up to 6 years. So you read that and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, so the bill they're talking about is Bill C-15. Took me a while to find a portion because even working with AI, they couldn't pinpoint properly the actual section of the bill that speaks about this. But I was able to find it. Let me just reshare my screen here. I'll bring up the official PDF document of Bill C-15. And so hold on, you should have it on your screen right now. Pow. So here's Bill C-15. It's called an act to implement certain provision of the budget tabled in Parliament on November 4th, 2025. And what's interesting about Bill C-15 is that there are reports saying that there's sections that were added to Bill C-15 that were not part of the actual budget. So what was given to the public, what was given to media, what was given to the other MPs in the House, they did not have the information that we're talking about there. They would have had to go through the 634 pages bill that's on the screen right now in order to find the information that I'm going to speak about. And I'm going to give you the actual section before I go to it. So it's Part 5, Division 5, Section 203, Part 2. That's on the page 332. They are making exemption to encourage, so here are the words: exemption to encourage innovation, competitiveness, or economic growth. They are making amendments to the Red Tape Regulation, the Red Tape Reduction Act. Red Tape Reduction Act. That sounds like a great name when you think about it, right? When you just listen to it. Yeah. That's like, oh, what a great name for this. So page 330, like, look at how much it scrolls. Like, it's insane how big that bill is. Like, you're just like, doop, 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 doop. Those are all fucking pages that you're seeing on the left going. There's 600.
Is this bill new? Or did it just get proposed?
Yep, it was tabled on the 18th of November. It has gone through first reading, as in it was presented to the House of Commons. The second reading hasn't gone through yet. They're in the process of the second reading, but it has not been voted on. There's no committee that's been through it yet. They haven't had any questions. They literally just tabled the bill saying this is what it's about. It's 634 pages long. And as per what I could find today, I was not able to find an official date of when the voting on the second reading is going to take place. It started on Friday. Thursday and Friday, they started asking a little bit of questions about it, but it hasn't been voted and it hasn't gone into committee yet. So here is the part. So it's under 3. I'm just going to go check my notes because I said, 232. So 232, because, man, the bill is massive. It's insane that I don't understand how this is legal, how they can get like omnibus bills that are so thick and they pass legislations in there that has nothing to do with the budget, like zero to do with the budget. And it's almost impossible to find unless somebody, a legal assistant, went through the whole pages one by one and tried to identify issues. I don't know how they found this. I have no clue how the Toronto Star found this, but here it is. So page 332 out of 634, exemptions to encourage innovation, competitiveness, or economic growth. That's on page 332, part 2. definition of entity. In this part, entity includes an individual or corporation, a partnership, a unique incorporated association or organization, and His Majesty in right of Canada or of a province. Basically, what it says under Order 12.1 is a minister may, by order for a specified validity period of no more than 3 years, and on any terms that the minister considers appropriate, exempt an entity from the application of a provision of an act of parliament except the criminal code, if the minister is responsible for the act. B, a provision of any instrument made under the act of parliament except an instrument made under the criminal code, if the minister is responsible for the act, or the body that made the instrument is accountable through the minister to parliament for the conduct of its affair, or C, a provision of an act of parliament except the criminal code, or a provision of an instrument made under an act of parliament except an instrument made under the criminal code, if the minister administers or enforces the provision. Here's where it gets really interesting, is under part 2, a minister is not required to consider a request for an exemption, meaning he doesn't need approval for this. He can literally judge that it's okay to do so and give exemption to anybody he wants, as long as his department is responsible for that act or for the laws that could be avoided. I think avoided is not a strong word, is not enough of a strong word.
Yeah,
but
I'm just seeing this bill
listen
for the
to
first time myself.
No, I've never heard anybody speak about this until the Toronto Star. And look at the portion here, because this is the last paragraph that I'm going to read here. It says conditions. A minister may make an order under subsection 1 only if the minister is of the opinion that A, the exemption is in the public interest. Like, what the fuck does that mean, in the public interest? B, the exemption would enable the testing of, among other things, a product, service, process, procedure, regulatory measure, with the aim of facilitating the design, modification, or administration of a regulatory regime to encourage innovation, competitiveness, or economic growth. A product, service, process, procedures, that's basically anything that is done in Canada seems to be voided here. A minister has the power to void laws as long as they're not criminal law, and give exemptions to corporation, associations, individuals. See, the benefits associated with the exemption outweigh the risk. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? The sufficient resources exist and appropriate measures will be taken to maintain oversight of the testing, manage any risk associated with the exemption, and protect public health and safety and the environment. And E, a feasible implementation plan has been developed. So I'm not gonna put you through more of my reading and of a very dry bill, but if you continue reading, there's also no timestamp on this. Yes, they need to talk about it, but it doesn't say when. They even have the power to exempt certain information from being revealed to the public in case they deem that it could go against the protection of our nation. Are you starting to see where this shit is going? Like, the type of power that we're talking about here? It's absolutely fucking insane. It's absolutely fucking insane, the power that they're trying to give themselves. And I want to go back to the article of the Toronto Sun, because again, they did a phenomenal job on breaking down what the bill is actually doing. And let me, because I have a bunch of notes on this. So Asper, let me find that portion. Asper, because now they started to talk right here. So here is, the Liberal government is granting itself the right to evade the application of law without going through Parliament. That's what the Bloc Finance critique Jean-Denis Garon had to say to the Toronto Star. Just as the Liberal did with Bill C-5, the Building Canada Act, giving Cabinet the power to decide which laws should apply to projects of national interest. Garon said, they are once again trying to bypass laws and regulations, but this time by using a pretext of innovation. We're talking about MPs that said that during the Commons. We understand that for the Liberal government, environmental laws or transportation safety laws are irritant, that they would like to do without, he said. It continues to say that even the NDP leader, Don Davis, described this as an attempt to gain unilateral power and avoid accountability. Decisions of this scope should not be rushed and should be discussed with all parties to ensure that public safety, environmental impact, and economical risk and benefits are all thought out and recognized, he said. This is just another example of the Prime Minister acting like he has a majority government and refusing to be held accountable. So there's more in this article that I want to cover, but so as we're talking here, we're literally talking about how, have you noticed how they keep on repeating environment? They keep on repeating health and safety. They keep on, you're muted, by the way. They keep on repeating certain, because it can't be illegal, right? It cannot go against the criminal code, but they're talking environment, which is one of the favorite thing. What falls under environment? Climate change. Because even if you look at our department, I don't know if you know this, but you know that our Department of Environment has been renamed with climate change in it. Did you know that? It's not. It's not Environment Canada anymore. It's Environment and Climate Change Canada. So,
well, of course, right? You got to pay the lip service.
So, hold on here, because man, it just goes on and on and on and on. How the government is trying to give themselves the power to exempt any corporation, any individual, any association that they choose with literally just the strike of a pen. They don't need to get approval from anybody. Those amendments to the Red Tape Reduction Act would give them power to do what it is that they want to do. And this is the part I want to put that in the mind of the people out there, because there's a good reason why they hid this into a 634-page document. We're literally talking about a page of text, like a page to a page and a half of text. Why do you think they want to hide this in such a massive omnibus bill? Because they didn't think they'd get caught on this, right? But I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? So where do you think my mind went? When I'm reading health and safety, when I'm reading products, services can be bypassed, what do you think that I thought of? Vaccines. I'm like, sure. Okay, so I asked Grok out of curiosity, I asked, does this mean that they could skip the testing phase, certain paperwork, similar to the way they did the vaccination fast track through the Emergency Act under COVID-19? Here's the answer of Grok. Yes, Bill C-15 could enable skipping certain testing phase or paperwork for vaccines, similar to COVID-19 emergency measures. Compliance would impede innovation, competitiveness, or economic growth. The exemption is in the public interest. The entity agrees to conditions that mitigate risks to public health, safety, or the environment. See how they're always repeating the same thing? They were talking about public health. They were talking about safety. They're talking about the environment. So, and now even Grok is like, under that law, I'm not saying that that's what they want to do. I'm not saying that that's not what they want to do. What I'm saying is that those amendments to the Red Tape Reduction Act would give the government the power to say to Pfizer or to Moderna, you know what? Don't worry about the testing phase anymore, bro. You can just go ahead and skip that. It could also allow what we were talking about over the past few weeks, clone meats, for example. No problem. You don't need to test that shit. We don't need to know. Just go ahead. That could open the gate to what is it? Meat, lab grown meat. Oh, don't worry about the testing, because it is all about innovation. If this impedes on innovation, you could get exempt. And we're talking anything that is not criminal law. So basically they can legally say that, oh, you know, our chosen partners can break the criminal code, as in they could commit fraud, for example. But you can do whatever else. You don't need the regulations that are in place right now, because you know what? It would impede innovation. So we can't have that. We cannot slow down innovation.
So this is actually an interesting topic of discussion, because I definitely see where you're coming from, you've got the conspiracy theorist sort of eye, and you're seeing all these things, and maybe that is what it's for. And this is why I think that the left-wing newspapers are against it, and I see the NDP is really starting to push now against it too. I think this is going to be used to push through pipelines. And I think that's what he's first and foremost trying to.
You're absolutely right. They could, under that bill, they could. And the NDP guy even talked about it, saying that anything that is for Canada, like big projects, could potentially. You're absolutely right.
I get the argument that, you know, you generally don't want your politicians to have too much power. Unchecked power is never a good thing.
No.
But if we narrowly focus it on to do things for the economy that are otherwise not going to be possible because of all the red tape, I would be on board with that. Now, the big question is that what he's going for? Is that what's going to happen?
You know, at the end of the day, this is where I always look at it from a very questionable eye. I don't trust the government. Fair. I don't care that you're the conservative, the PPC, the liberal, the NDP. I don't trust you. If you're part of the government or you're in politics, I don't trust you. I will doubt everything that you say from the get-go. That's a fact. You could be media. I doubt what everybody tells me, and I do my own research. So the first question,
I think that's fair. I think it's good. Go ahead.
What is the number one trait of intelligence? There are normally two traits that you can recognize somebody that has some type of intelligence. There are two things: critical thinking.
I'll say curiosity.
And that's the second one. The two most important parts related to intelligence are curiosity and free thinker, somebody that is ready to use critical thinking. Why do you think that neither are taught in school anymore? They don't want you to be curious, and they don't want you to ask questions. They want you to regurgitate what they're telling you. And if you do a good job, they will give you a prize. They'll give you a medal. They'll give you a little gold star so that you feel awesome about what you've done. But that's why you can tell they're indoctrinating your children, because what are you supposed to accomplish if you're not curious and you cannot ask yourself questions, criticizing yourself, criticizing what you're being told? So as I'm reading this bill, I'm like, okay, hold on. Why are they hiding a page and a half of amendments in a bill that it's supposed to be about the budget? How the fuck is that helping the budget? Why are they hiding this into a 634-page document? That right then and there, I know they're trying to hide it. That's number one. Number two, why the fuck do they not need to get approval for this from, if it is such an innovation, it's such a tool that will bring prosperity to Canada, why wouldn't you want the other parties to vote on this? It's either two things. You know that everything takes way too much time in government to try to pass amendments. So basically you're saying that the government you're running is so ineffective at running itself that it impedes on implementing competitiveness in a way that is fast. So basically you're saying that your government fucking sucks, that it can't do its fucking job properly. So we're going to bypass the government because we want to do this fast. So no matter how you look at it, it sounds bad. And why is it that nobody else is talking about it except the Toronto Star. Like, I haven't heard the Conservatives speak about this. I saw one former MP talking about this today, but she did not break it down the way that I just did. All she did is she copy pasted something that Mario Zelaya posted, and she basically repackaged it for a post on Instagram, but she did not break it down the way I just broke it down. So however you look at it, if you're telling me that this is about anything that would impede innovation, competitiveness, and economic growth, literally anything that is not criminal, actually anything that is probably criminal could be part of this, but the bill is clear that it cannot go against the criminal code. It doesn't say that it can't go against the charter. Oh shit, I never thought about this. It doesn't say that she can't go against the Charter of Rights. That's fucked up though. That's fucked. I didn't realize that until now. So that means you can break our Charter of Rights, you can go after our rights and freedom, but as long as it's not criminal. I really need to find a lawyer that wants to come on, like hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah,
in order to break it down to. I already reached out to a few, like, hey guys, what the fuck is this? Here's all the document. Here's the page. You don't need to search. Here's the information. I did the research for you. Explain what the fuck that means to me. So hopefully we get to have somebody break this down, because this is not right. This is definitely not right.
Yeah. It's interesting. They tried to sneak it through, right? It looks like the block is the one that first caught them.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Yeah, let's take some comments on this, because I know that people are gonna have an opinion on this. So let's take some comments.
Yeah, well, there's quite a few there. Wise Guy says it is what they want to do. I think what you're referring to, the vaccine issue, that's what they want to do.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Woke Tell Your commenter, Woke Tell Your Broke says, Rob, you're a stupid idiot plug boy. And then he clarifies,
okay, so what's your
butt plug?
Let me answer that one for you.
I disagree.
Is that supposed to insult him? Because I agree. I agree with you. So what's the problem?
I disagree. I disagree with both of you. I respectfully we'll respectfully disagree, because that's what this show's all about. I am not a butt plug.
I thought he said you use butt plugs.
No,
sorry.
He said I am a butt plug. He says here I look like a chomo. I don't know if that's homo. Dude is on fire, man.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. Yeah. Keep them coming, man.
You know what's funny about that is I'm normally the one being insulted by people. Hey, that's funny.
Yeah, normally it's you.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's how you feel laughing about me. Oh, okay, laughing at me. Okay, cool.
Well, Will says, "Well, I fucked up. Apparently, missing a good show." Yeah. There's a interesting discussion here on Bill C-15. Apparently, I look like a butt plug. I mean, there's lots of interesting stuff going on here.
Hard to disagree.
Yeah. Louis DeVluget says, "This is the way they work. Slipping little amendments here and there, and all of a sudden, boom." Yeah. I mean,
yep.
I can. And the thing is even if the intention is to use it for something I might support, like forcing a pipeline through, then they still have the power that's still on the books. So I think I definitely think it's worth being hesitant when you see this kind of stuff. Really, the biggest red flag is that they're trying to sneak it through. It seems like they're trying to hide it, which is the biggest thing. That's like, I'm not so sure about this.
I agree. That's always the part that is problematic. When you try to sneak it through, I already don't trust you. So if you're trying to sneak it through, there's a problem. There's definitely a problem. No questions about it.
Yeah.
You're my Adam. Says, he just continues ripping into you.
Is he keep going on? Where is this guy? What does he say?
Right here. You're like Adam on PBD.
Who's PBD?
You know what PBD is, right? Patrick Bet David. So basically, I'm the smart guy and you're the fucking idiot. You're my clown. Basically, I think is what he's saying.
Okay, there, woke till you're broke. Easy there, keyboard warriors. Everyone knows
but
I'm
you know what?
I'm the eye candy here, anyways.
I don't think anybody disagrees.
Yes.
Hold on. So just so that you feel better, Wilf is saying we love you anyway, Rob. We love our butt plug anyway.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Appreciate you, brother.
Do you see other comments you wanted to take?
Yeah. Michelle Gordon, let's take a few more. Michelle Gordon says, when you're trying to police speech and do things such as this, and going even further by trying to sneak by Parliament and citizens, is this not fascist? I mean, I kind of feel like the word fascist.
100,000 million percent.
I feel like the word fascist gets so overused, primarily by the left these days, that it doesn't really have much meaning anymore. But yeah, in theory, I mean, at least this is kind of similar to fascist. Usually the left uses just as anything they don't like, right? Anything I don't like is fascist.
Yep, but in this case it is. That's definitely the definition. That Bill C2, C8, C9, the new C63 that's going to be tabled within the next 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, like within the next 12 days, people are saying is going to be tabled next week.
Yep.
Those are all censorship bills. We cover them heavily. So if you want to hear more about it, we got a great episode with Bruce Party that we released on Wednesday last week, which was absolutely great. Really love that guy. Hopefully he comes back to
that was a good chat.
C15.
I like that guy. Chris says, even if you get what you want
C15,
in terms, even if you get what you want in terms of pipeline, going through this bill could be protecting private industry from the consequences of screw ups. Oil pipelines do leak and cause damage. That's a fair point too. I also don't want to give carte blanche to private companies to do whatever the fuck they want to the environment. To a certain extent, there is a reason why some regulations are there. The problem is we've been overburdened with extreme red tape and regulations. And, again, in a perfect world, if all this is used for is to force through some major infrastructure projects that boost the Canadian economy, I'm all for it. The big if, though, is, of course, if that's all they're going to do with it. You're always rolling the dice when you grant undue power to politicians, and it really boils down to, do you trust the government or not?
No, 100%, 100,000 million percent. No, I do not. But at the end of the day, man, it always, if the goal was to do what you're saying, let's say that we take, for example, that it is about pushing a pipeline. Let's say that's the goal ultimately.
Yep.
Why sneak it through? Why sneak it through?
Right? And
you're already selling the idea. You're already selling the idea of the useless fucking MOU that was signed by Daniel Smith. You're already pushing that idea. So why not simply use the fact that people are talking about this? That I think the numbers were showing like 60 to 70% of Canadians agree in theory with the MOU, as in they never read the MOU, but thinking that it will actually grant Alberta a pipeline to the Pacific and we could sell our oil. And again, I'm not going to go through the rabbit hole of the MOU and how much bullshit that MOU is, because we covered literally 3 shows last week just talking about this. So go back and watch those videos from last week. We do multiple deep dives into the MOU. But if, let's say, that's the lie they're trying to sell, they wouldn't have tried to hide it in an omnibus bill that is 634 pages long. So right then and there, as soon as they started talking about healthcare, I'm like, okay, what did they do during COVID? They literally used the Emergency Act under COVID in order to force people, or coerce. I don't want to say force, because I didn't take it. It cost me everything, but I still didn't take it. But people were coerced into taking a vaccine that, as per the numbers, again, I don't know how accurate those numbers are, but you're talking anywhere from 80% to 91% of Canadians have at least one shot. Those are the numbers that are available everywhere. I don't know how accurate that is, or they exaggerated. I don't know. But those are the numbers you see out there. So let's call it 4 out of 5 Canadians got at least one vaccine. How many of them would have not taken that vaccine if it didn't mean you lost your job, if it didn't mean you couldn't go to the restaurant, you couldn't go, you were losing your freedom. Like, I wasn't able to go anywhere to do anything. Sure. I lost my career over this, right? But the point is that they mentioned multiple times health in there. They mention services and products, and even Grok is like, yes, under the bill, like under the amendments that they're talking about, if they do change that, that means that Pfizer, Moderna could potentially have the ability to skip certain testing phase like they did during COVID. Because for the people out there, if you don't remember, normally it takes years of testing before a new vaccine is accepted. Within COVID, they reduce years of testing to months of testing. And this type of regulation, like this type of amendments that they're talking about, would provide that model that they could continue using if they wanted to, as long as the minister saw this as in the public interest under innovation competitiveness. So you can see how it would be easy for them to do so. But like I said earlier, this could go down the rabbit hole of the clone meats that we started to see, that we covered heavily on this show too. That could go to lab grown meats. That could go to, you know, that in Canada they're trying to cancel all natural supplements. Like all natural supplements that are not provided by a doctor. As we speak right now, they're removing access to it slowly. It started under Trudeau. They're removing access to, yes. What was his name? We had
under what like what
pretense?
What is is the logic behind this?
I don't want to talk out of my ass, so I would need to reread about it. All I'm telling you is that Sean Buckley, a constitutional lawyer that's been fighting Health Canada for 30 years, that's one of the main things that he does, and that's something he heavily talks about, is how the federal government is going after natural remedy that is available over-the-counter type of deal that you could buy from a supplement store, you could buy from somebody that is not considered your traditional doctor with a PhD in medicine. So this potentially could do that too, right? It's just, it gives so much power that is unchecked. No debate needed, no information needed to be provided. Just signature, puff, and then it's possible for them to do it. That's too much power for people that I do not trust as far as I can throw them. So no, this is, so I'm going to try, guys. I'm telling you right now, I just went through the bill. It took me a few hours to gather all the information that I provided you guys today, but I will try to get a lawyer to come on the show. Hopefully Nadine's able to do it. I saw a text just before I started. Oh yeah, you know what? Gen XSI. I believe that ivermectin is one of those products that the government has banned or is trying to ban. This is the type. See, this is exactly the type of product that I'm talking about, that they're trying to remove from Canada. You know, in the same way, you know that in Canada, it's no longer legal to have raw milk. That's not. It's the same. It's the exact same process that they're going through. It's through the same powers that they're trying to prevent those things. So, I will, like I said, I'm gonna try to find a lawyer to break this down to see where it can actually go and how bad this is, because from what I gather, it is a very, very fucking big problem. I just want somebody to break it down from a legal perspective to see, because all the things that I don't see, because I'm not a lawyer, obviously I'm missing things, but yeah, hopefully I can get somebody on the show tomorrow. Before we go to
that'd be a good chat.
Oh yeah, 100%. Before we go to the next subject, and you know what, for the people out there, you tell me if that makes sense, because I kind of got into I was thinking about this last week, and I was recording the Conservative Corner with David Creighton last week, and I went on a fucking rant of the conservative content creators in Canada, and I just went on a massive rant calling them out by name, and I said, you know what, fuck it. I produced a reel that went viral on X, where I called out Mark Nixon, I called out Jasmine Lane, I called out Northern Perspective, I called out Moose on the Loose, I called out, fuck, who else did I call out? I just lost my shit on the episode. It was just, my rants. I just went down a fucking rant. And after, I'm like, this is too good. I'm just going to share it because...
Sure.
And most of them replied to so Mark Nixon was the first to reply to me. We've had him on the show. I called them shills for the Conservative Party is basically what I called them, and I was saying that I
Oh,
couldn't
he
understand
actually
why
got back to you, eh? What did you say?
Oh, Jasmine Lane got back to me too. She defended her
Oh, really?
position. I kind of ripped into her a bit more. I haven't seen if she. I can't. You know, you lose control of certain posts where there's so many comments that you can't keep track of who's responding to what anymore. But what's interesting is I
Yep.
called a few of them out, and I want to give credit to Mark Nixon because Mark Nixon has been on this show months and months ago. I've tried to have him back on, but he
Yeah,
never
I liked him.
responded to
He was
my
a nice guy.
emails. Well, I have a. He's like, hey, bro, call me because I have his phone number. So I called him. We had a 30-minute, 45-minute conversation after I called him out, and he agreed to do a recording with me next Friday. He can't come at this time on the show because he has kids, and in the evenings he dedicated that to his kids. So good for him. But he will be on the show. I'm going to record something. You're more than welcome to be on the show if you want to be there.
Yep.
But it's on Friday next week. So this coming Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And the whole point is to talk about what's going on in Canada, how I called him out. And I appreciate the fact that he responded, that he had the balls to actually respond to my post. It was a super polite conversation. Like, I didn't call them names as in, I wasn't trying to insult them. I was trying to understand why do they all, I literally started the video by saying they have Pierre Poliev's cock so far down their throat that I don't know how they're able to speak. So yeah, so you can.
So you got
but, you know me, man.
So you got.
But all to say,
you set the tone.
yeah, I set the tone. But I also said, you know, I actually like Mark Nixon. We've recorded with him. I've had multiple conversations with him. I like him.
Cool guy. Yeah.
Behind closed doors, I have spoken to Jasmine Lane. Same thing. I actually like her, but she does not want to come on this show. Mark Nixon was not answering me anymore. What's his name? Mario Zelaya. That's a tool right there, and I called him out too in that video. But you should see the rants that he's getting called out a lot recently. Oh shit. God damn. You're starting to see his comment sections. Yeah, people are tired of him not calling out the Conservatives. But all to say that he's going to be on the show on Friday. So if you guys want to join the conversation, it's going to be an interesting conversation because he's told me some stuff on the phone that he doesn't talk in his content. And I'm going to take him. We agreed to speak about this. So he's a lot more like me than I thought. A lot more like me. He's just, I don't know if the word careful is the right word. I won't put words in his mouth. I'll let him explain it. But it's just interesting that he wanted to talk. We talk. He's going to be on the show. I'd love to have Jasmine Lane on the show to talk about this. I would talk to all of them if they had the balls to come on the show and actually explain why they do what they do. So,
yep. Yeah.
Before we get to the next, do you mean on Thursday? No, Friday. So this is, yeah, I know I'm normally off on Friday. That's the only day I don't record normally, but it is a special episode on Friday because he cannot attend this hour of the day because he is with his kids and he records during the day with his kids at night. So we set up a 12 Eastern or 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific because he's out of British Columbia. That worked for his schedule. So it's a special episode that you will get to see us 6 times in a week. That's all it means. That's all it is. More of us.
Yeah.
More of us.
Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want more of us?
Yeah. Before we get to the next subject, hold on. I can't forget to mention the sponsor of the day.
Do
Today's episode is brought to you by Gabble, the world's first video online debate app. If you can choose to sit back, watch, or you can do like me and debate other people. I recommend you try it. I've spoken about this for almost a month now. I absolutely love that app. It's great dudes that are developing it. Kids out of Columbia University. They're very clever, but they're big fans of Charlie Kirk. And they're trying to set up a civil discourse type of platform. So there's about 10 topics a day. You show up, you pick a side, you're either for or against it. You have 3 minutes to debate someone. And people vote for the winner. And there's an AI judge that will break the tie if need be. So you can check in the description below. Our affiliate link is there. And yes, supporting Gabble is like supporting us because they are our sponsors. So There you go. What were you going to say? Because goddamn, there's a lot of full capital text comments.
Yeah, a
lot of people screaming.
Yeah, a lot of people
A lot of
screaming.
people screaming.
Lay off the caps lock, folks. But Louis DeLuch agrees with you. He said it's a uniparty, so he agrees. Yep,
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Agreement there. And there's some pretty polite conversation going on between Wise Guy and Chris H. But yeah, no, I mean that's love when the show.
Is it really polite?
Even if it's not necessarily about the topic. Oh no, it's
really polite. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I know, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because Chris is one of the resident.
Is it sarcasm?
And Wise Guy is
like is
yeah. You never know. No, but no, it's a genuinely polite. Talking about pipelines. You always got to like when they the side
Love
conversations goes off. Oh, Wolf with the super sticker. Thanks, brother. Yeah, we got 10 minutes left. What do we got left? Do you got another topic you want to hit before we?
Yeah, we got 15 minutes left since we started a bit late. But all to say, guys, if you do want to support the show like Wilf is doing, feel free to give us a tip on the YouTube channel. Consider becoming a member. It's $2.99 a month. Or if you don't want to give your money to YouTube, which we fully fucking understand, at the top right of your screen, there is a buy me a coffee option, and you can give us whatever the hell you want. But at the end of the day, guys, know that we do not take money from political party. We do not. That's the first sponsor that we get, and that's just because they do civil discourse. But this is the first time in almost 11 months of recording that we get a sponsor. But if you guys support independent media, because we will always, this is one thing I wanted to ask the audience how you feel about this, but in my rant towards the other content creators, the independent journalists in Canada, I saw that in their answers, especially Jasmine Lane, she basically said that, she covers the topics that are being covered, that are in the news right now. And I'm like, well, that's the problem. Because if you rely on mainstream media to talk about the real stuff, you will never talk about the real stuff. And as I was writing that, I'm like, well, maybe that's exactly what we should do on this show, is instead of covering all the big points that everybody's talking about, that 10 different, 20 different, 30 different channels are talking about, we should cover the stuff like we did today, Bill C-15. Those are the things that you should be aware of. Those are the things that mainstream media is not covering yet. So maybe instead of reacting to the news, we should make the fucking news. So that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, that's interesting that they got back to you. I'm kind of surprised Jasmine Lane did. It doesn't surprise you too much about Mark Nixon because we have had him on the show.
I call her out on her post all the time. We get in conversations on her stuff all the time. I call out people all the time. Oh yeah, of course you have to call out. I call out my peers. Pretty friendly. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's I don't go, and that's the thing. Like when one of the reasons why Mark Nixon came back to me is that I did not insult them. All I said, I even said in the video, I actually like Mark Nixon because I recorded with him.
They've got polyester dick in their mouth.
But you know what's funny? None of them disagreed.
Like, what do you mean?
they had to put the dick down in order to respond to my message. They're not stupid. I know what they're doing. And as much as I can like them, they're playing the safe train. They're making sure because if you look at the vast majority of people that follow Mark Nixon, that follow Jasmine Lane, that will follow Mario Zelaya, the Northern Perspective, are not looking for those guys to bash the Conservative Party. A lot of those people are following them because they're like you. They're not, they're liberals, but they're like, I can't be a liberal anymore. So what else is out there? They still believe that the Conservative is actually the opposition party to the liberals. They don't believe that there's a uniparty, that they're not reading the bills. They're not reading the MOU. They're not reading the votes. They don't understand that on November 7th, the Conservative Party voted in favor of the Liberals' budget in order to avoid a election that could have been triggered by the amendments that the Bloc put forward, that the NDP voted for, that the Green voted for. Nobody talks about that because they don't want to show how the conservatives are just second wing of the same bird. Because why did they vote against the budget 2 weeks after when they voted for it when it mattered? It's all fucking theatrics. It's, as I said, bread and circuses for the masses.
Did you hear Elizabeth May? She did a big thing where she says she now regrets the vote for the budget. Like,
yeah, she was probably drunk. Fucking
yeah, she was drunk. That's exactly what it was. It was a fucking week ago, man. Like, nothing changed. If you voted for it then, you should vote for it today. But,
no, absolutely not. I saw the video. I saw exactly the video you were talking about. There's actually a few of them because she was on CBC, I think yesterday or today, talking about this.
She's so useless, man. She's so useless.
She's a party of one, bro. That's it. Yeah. She is the Green Party.
She's just like, she probably was literally drunk, right? Or drunk when she says she regrets the vote. She just shows up and
it's kind of disappointing though that it's called the Green Party. It should be called the Brown Party. Like, alcohol is mostly brown, right? So the Brown Party, because the Green Party is just should be a bunch of potheads,
just like her liver.
Should be oh, well, there you go. So let me cover one more story because I thought this is right into our wheelhouse. This is something that not a lot of people are talking about because, goddamn, if you talk against the Muslims, you're gonna get in trouble. But here it is, and that's another thing that my conservative, independent conservatives out there don't tend to talk about a lot. They don't like to talk against the Muslims because even the Conservative Party doesn't talk against the Muslims. So here is a post by Blacklock's reporter. I have to one day pay for their subscription. It's stupid expensive, but goddamn.
How much is it?
I think it's something like $250-300 a year or something like that. Crazy. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, I agree. But here's a post they made. When was this? This was on Friday last week. The headline is "No Coffee Time for a Month." Managers at Shared Services Canada, the federal IT department, recommended canceling coffee breaks for a month due to Ramadan. Access to information records show an estimated 100 out of 9,300 employees self-identify as Muslims, though not all were observant. It is important to be respectful of our Muslims colleague who may be fasting. Garbage. So basically, the biggest department, one of the largest department in the government of Canada, the IT department called Share Services Canada. For the people out there that don't know what it is, I used to sell services to those assholes. But basically what it is every single IT services that is required by any department of the government of Canada, their requests are funneled through that department because they think that they have purchasing power. So if they see that all their departments need certain services that are the same, they will buy as per their contract with a bigger amount of products required or services required. So it's all in the lie of purchasing power. But either way, it's all departments need to funnel their IT needs through Shared Services Canada. It's a department that serves other departments for their IT. So their IT services, that's basically all it is. But all to say that they're recommending that we stop taking coffee, that's federal government employees stop taking coffee breaks for a month in order to support the 100 employees throughout their almost 10,000 workforce that fast for Ramadan. Let me tell you something. Ramadan's not that big of a fucking deal. I've been fasting for 5 to 10 years every single fucking day of my life. Often I eat one meal a day. There's days I don't eat at all. I can go 4 or 5 days, 3, 4 or 5 days without eating at all. So don't give me this shit that we need to stop eating or stop drinking because they're fasting. I don't expect people to stop fucking eating. I don't look at my wife and say, woman, you need to stop eating because I'm fasting. That's a personal choice that I make for my health, but it has nothing to do with other people. So it's not a religious thing. Go fuck yourself. You don't need to pander to these people.
Go ahead. Finish up.
All I was going to say is put it into perspective. So now we have federal governments that are telling us that we should stop taking coffee breaks for them because we don't want to make it hard on them when they're fasting. Those are the same people that are able to block our streets to pray. We're talking the busiest streets in Canada. They can block any park they want. No consequences for whatsoever. But yet you have Pastor Derek Reimer that just got arrested again for not wanting to apologize to a librarian that was hosting a drag queen story hour. Then those same people are capable of wearing their religious symbols as public servants, but Christians are not allowed to have a little cross on their outfit if they want to. And, you know, I was laughing. I was thinking about it this morning. What's next? Are they going to start forcing kids in schools not to eat bacon because it might offend Muslims?
That's
at the end of the day, man, we're not here. You know, we're not here to cater to minorities. If minorities want to come here, foreigners want to come here, you can integrate into our culture. That's the whole point of immigrations, to make Canada better. And you know what? If you're not happy, guess what? I looked it up this morning. You can go home, or you can go to any of the other 57 countries that shares your value, because clearly Muslim values are not Canadian values.
Well, it's like, you know, like we talked about last week, where there's some schools that are trying to ban pork products and from like sending letters home to parents saying, please don't, we have Muslim students, so please don't send your kids to school with pork. And this is the same thing. And the response is the same. Get fucked. You are free to not eat pork. You are free to fast as much as you want. That has nothing to do with me. You are not free to tell me what I can eat or what I can send my kid to school with. You know, it's not like they're out there forcing pork down your kid's throat. Obviously, if they were doing that, I would be opposed to that. But that's not what's happening. Your religion does not get to dictate what I feed my kids and what I want to eat. You know, if you choose to obey, to follow or to observe your religion and fast on Ramadan, that's great. I support you. I'm fully supportive of that. It has nothing to do with me. And it's not going to affect anything I do. It's this whole, the thing that really burns me about this is just this whole attitude that the rest of society has to fucking cater to this one religion. And it's garbage, man. I completely reject it on every level. And I would reject it on every level if it was Christians doing this, if it was Jews doing this, if it was fucking Hindus doing it. But the thing is, it's not any of those groups. It's only the Muslims.
Only the Muslims. And the thing is that they have other places that they can go. Like I said, there's at least 57 countries that are dominated by Islam values. Those are the prominent leaders are Muslims. So there's at least 57 countries. There's probably over 100 countries that you can go where they will cater to you. I don't want Canada to be that. I don't give a fuck about what you want. If it's not in favor of Canada, you can go suck one. I don't care. I really could not give two shits about what foreigners want when they come to Canada. You're coming here to make this country better. We are a welfare state. We have fucking open borders. That means as soon as you show up here, you get to take advantage of our healthcare. You get to take advantage of all the services like health, like schools that are provided through taxpayers without ever having to participate. Don't fucking come here and tell me that we need to provide you more. Already that we're giving too much to foreigners without them ever having to pay into it first. It's not true that you're going to tell me that I can't take a fucking coffee break. It's not true that you're going to tell kids out there that they can't eat pork because it offends you. If it offends you, stay home, go back home, stay home in your house, go back home, or go to any of the other countries that's out there that will cater to you. There's plenty of them out there.
Yeah, no one gives a
I don't and that's not racist. That's not racist. I really couldn't give two shit about the color of your skin. If you're gonna be a fucking princess coming here expecting us to do something for you, go fuck you. Go fuck yourself. The average Canadian already pays 42.3% of their salaries to taxes, federal, provincial, and municipal. We don't have any more fucking money to give to other people that don't want to be part of Canada. It's pretty fucking simple. It's not a hard message. People don't like that message because I sound racist, but you know what? Fuck you too. I don't care. It needs to be said. People need to fucking wake up that this is Canada. This is not China. This is not Canada, India. This is not whatever the fuck country you want to call it. This is Canada, and it was based on Judeo-Christian values. You don't like those values? Guess what? So many other countries you can go to that will happily take you. It's pretty simple.
Louis DeVoit says, "Do what you want, but don't fucking make me do what you want." Yeah, it's real. It's real simple, right? It's really simple. You're free. That's what living in a free society means. You're free to do whatever you want, so long as it doesn't impact on my ability to do what I want. And I want to eat fucking pork, and I want to send my kids to school with pork, and you can get fucked. The Truth Hurts says, Ambrose, you're so full of it. In what way, Truth Hurts? Do you mean you think that the rest of society should cater to one very specific interest group? Because I just completely disagree.
Put that again. Put the comment again. I didn't see it.
Truth Hurts says, Ambrose, you are so full of it. I think this person thinks that society should bend over for Muslims. And I do not agree with that.
I don't think we should cater to any minorities. I don't care where they come from.
No,
they could come from Europe. I don't care.
We shouldn't cater to any group. We shouldn't cater to any group, period. Whether they're minority or a majority or whatever. Any special interest group should not get special. There's no group that should get special privilege. It's such an easy fucking concept. I don't understand how it could be remotely controversial, but just, far left woke retards will always make something more difficult than it has to be.
We're taking
Guido
it back. We're taking
Carney
it back.
says, yeah, taking the word back. That's right. The R word, hard R. Carney says, Guido says, Carney said the Canadian values are Islamic ones. That's such a crazy statement. I mean,
actually,
we reference that statement.
Let me correct you, Guido. What he said is Muslim values are Canadian values. That is what he said. That's even worse than what you wrote. That's why I'm saying.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yep.
I still can't believe he said that. Like, in what context? Like, it's crazy, because when you look at the values of the Muslim dominant countries, the ones that you're mentioning, none of them are what any normal person would consider Canadian values.
What's the have you ever watched the Whatever podcast? You know what podcast I'm talking about, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Shit. It's not a very smart podcast. Like, it's extremely popular, but it's basically a guy that receives young women on the show, and they basically make fun of them. They have debates. They've had like Charlie.
Oh, it's like one or two guys with like 5 or 6 girls around them, and it's usually like OnlyFans models or something.
Okay. Yeah. Something along those lines. And there's a guy that always goes on the show. He has a beard. He is a massive asshole, but he is very witty. Like, he's very quick. He is very hard to debate, but he is an ass. And there's a video, I should have saved it, but he was debating a Muslim.
Yep.
You should have seen how he ripped into him. He's like, it's interesting that you guys, why you guys want to come here? And I'm not saying that he's right. I'm not saying that he's wrong. All I'm saying, I'm repeating what he's saying, okay? But he's basically arguing, he's on stage with a Muslim, and the Muslim starts talking about why they come to countries like the US, because the guy's American. And he's like, you know what, man? The only reason you come here is because we have an IQ that's our average IQ is so much higher than your average IQ, because we don't fuck our cousins. There's studies out there that shows that you guys in Muslim country have some of the lowest IQs on the planet, because you won't stop fucking people from your family and having kids with them.
Something like 40% of Pakistan marriages are first cousins.
So he was saying how the average IQ is between 50 to 70. He's like, you guys are too fucking stupid to invent any type of technology. Why do you guys still use donkeys when we have fucking cars here? But the guy I'm not saying that he's right. I don't know those numbers, but I just thought it was fucking hilarious. He just the guy is such an ass. Like, hold on. What the fuck is his name? Oh shit, I have a picture of him right now. Right here. Ah, shit. What's his name? I cannot remember what the guy's name is. But I've had some people that I know that debated him. He's not an easy guy to debate, because he will insult you. Like, not only is he very witty, he will rip into you. Either way, that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to finish there. Yeah. It's just one of my rabbit holes.
Yeah. Well, we all got them. All right, guys, we're going to pin it there. Excellent show tonight. Lots of audience engagement. Lots of audience participation. Love to see it. Love to see the new faces. If you are new to the show, welcome. Pretty much what you see is what you get. We're trying to create a space where common sense people from all over the political spectrum get together and have respectful debates, like saying the host looks like a butt plug.
Andrew Wilson. Sorry to cut you off, bro.
Is his name? Yeah.
I'm just gonna Google him to make sure. Is that Andrew
the guy?
Wilson? Did I write it wrong? Andrew? No, I don't think it's Andrew Wilson.
If
He's
you
another dude.
Yeah, I feel like it's a common name though. So probably a lot of Andrew Wilsons. If you want to support the show, please consider becoming a member through YouTube. You can do that through the YouTube platform there. Another way to support the show is just keep coming back. Keep throwing those comments out there. As you can see, the show is heavily based on audience engagement, audience participation. We're going to take those comments, whether they agree with us, disagree with us. That's really what the show's all about. So keep coming back. It's what's it? Today's Sunday, so it's the start of a week. Let's make it a good one, folks. We'll see you tomorrow night, same time as always. Peace.
And I stand corrected. It is Andrew Wilson. So yes.
It is Andrew Wilson.
Nerd in Exile, you're absolutely right. It's just a very common name, and the first guy that comes in when you say
that's what I figured.
Andrew Wilson is like a white guy that looks like a surfer. That is not the same guy, but it is the same. It is the same name. So guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.